the proliferation of small firearms in Nigeria has significantly worsened the country's security situation. With these weapons becoming increasingly accessible, violent groups, including bandits and militias, have escalated attacks across various regions. This is particularly evident in areas like Uromi in Edo State, Benue, and Plateau State as well, where the increasing use of firearms has led to widespread violence and killings. These weapons, often difficult to trace and regulate, have enabled criminals to operate with greater impunity, exacerbating the already fragile situation. Well, the former FCT Commissioner of Police, Lawrence Alobi, joins us now to assess how the proliferation of the small arms are impacting the fight against insecurity, with specific reference to the killings in Uromi, Benue, and Plateau states. He'll also be providing us insights into strategies that can be implemented to address the spread of firearms and to improve the country's overall security landscape. Glad to have you join us here on Newsday. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Right. Well, from your experience as a commissioner of police, what do you believe are the primary sources of the proliferation of these small arms within Nigeria? What's the cause?
Yes, thank you. The proliferation of illegal arms and ammunition constitutes a very serious threat to life and property, to the security of the nation, and the entire government of this country. Because when there is insecurity, the government cannot settle down to carry out good governance. So the production of illegal arms is a serious threat, and that's what emboldens the criminal, the bandits, the kidnappers, to carry out their criminal activity, and the helpless civilians who are there armless, like it happened in the Plateau. They were attacked in their homes, in their villages, and they were murdered. Some of them were kidnapped and so forth. If there had been effective control of illegal arms and ammunition in the country, I don't think these criminals will have access to such arms, right, and use them against innocent citizens. In fact, there are really three categories of arms in line with our Firearms Act. That's the prohibited firearms, which only means that President can approve the license for anybody to bear prohibited firearms. Firearms include pump action, pistols, better pistols, revolvers, AK-47, and what have you. And then, of course, the personal firearm, which is double barrel or single barrel, which is supposed to be for gaming, and the Dane gun, which is commonly used, which is the load and shoot. But you see, because our laws are not effectively being enforced, I've always said that a law that is not enforced is of no value to man and society. And because the enforcement mechanism is weak, the institutions that are supposed to enforce this were not given the capacity to effectively enforce these laws. And again, our Firearms Act is very, very weak. Even though the similar offenses on law possession of firearms is also captured in the Anti-Terrorist Act, but then the question is, how effective has been this enforcement? Because then how do these criminals get access to these arms? Is it through the border or through the sea or through the route? Have we been able to identify this route? Have we been able to ensure that these arms that are in their hands have been recovered? The police have a duty to organize searches like a general search, to organize a community, organize a search in a village or in the house, and so recover these illegal arms. Because if these arms are not in the hands of the criminals, they cannot have the opportunity of committing this crime. So I think there should be a massive and deliberate strategy to recover illegal arms and ammunition in the hands of people who are not supposed to have them. If this is done, it will minimize reduce crime, particularly violent crime like kidnapping, banditry, and all these attack on innocent citizens in their homes. It will not happen. And then when these can carry these arms, they pass through the roads, they navigate through the roads, and they attack the villages. And they're supposed to be police checkpoints, military checkpoints, and so forth. Now, other security agencies also have their checkpoints, like the immigration and the custom, they have their checkpoints. So I think I want to suggest that there should be a combined force, combined team to launch an attack on the recovery of illegal arms in the hands of those who are not supposed to have them. They could organize searches in all the communities, organize searches in all the villages, and ensure that these arms are recovered. Because when these arms are recovered, and also, in fact, it also ensure that either they are destroyed or they take proper custody of those arms. And also even security agencies themselves too, like not too long ago, the NSA made a statement about that some unscrupulous security agencies also connect with these criminals and to sell out these arms. That could be true. So then how do we check the armories? How often are these arms being checked in the armory? Those who carry out these arms, how do they keep them? There should be a proper check of the proper movement of arms and ammunition from the armory or from the station before you are deployed. You make sure you return your arms, and if you return your arms, you are being checked to ensure that it's what you signed that you took, you returned. So they should be properly checked. And those who are appointed as armories, how are they men of integrity? Are they men who can be vouched for? Are they men who can be trusted? So these are these mechanisms that can be put in place, and from time to time, they should be checking the armory to know that the arms that are supposed to be there are there intact, without being not being removed by unauthorized persons. And also, this checking will enable the command or the information know that their arms are effectively under effective control, and they're not being made available to unauthorized persons who use them against innocent citizens. So these are some of the mechanisms that can be put in place, organizing a massive operation to recover illegal arms in the hands of people, and that should be both our borders, our airports, our seaports, and all our entry routes
Mr. Alobi.
into the country. You know,
Mr. Alobi,
yes.
Thank you so much, for giving us a detailed explanation. But then I'm wondering, is it possible that Nigeria might require some form of international cooperation or assistance in a bid to tackle this crisis?
Yeah, you see, nobody's an island. We have international collaboration with other agencies. If you have anybody who has expertise in terms of today crime is dynamic, and security is also dynamic, and we need to use technology. Technology is one of the strategies that can be used to fight crime. Like nations that are more advanced in technology in these areas, they can collaborate with them, but then we cannot just leave everything to them, because they also have their own interest to protect. We have to be committed. Our security agencies have to be committed. The government has to be committed. We can liaise with foreign other countries who have expertise in this area to assist us and work with them so we can control the operation of illegal arms and ammunition. It's possible, but there must be those who are really sincere and ready to work with us with a view of actually checkmating this problem or addressing the challenge that is confronting us today.
And just taking an example of what happened in Uromi, Benue, recently, and the apprehension of individuals with multiple firearms, which led to a skirmish and multiple deaths. Given the scale of violence in some of these areas as well, what specific recommendations would you offer intelligence gathering for proactive policing, and also communications between these places that have hotbeds of violence? What would you recommend?
Yeah, in the first place, we don't gather intelligence. We share intelligence. What we do is we gather information that will not be evaluated, analyzed, and now become actionable intelligence. where agencies can now share amongst themselves. All the various agencies have their intelligence unit. They cannot work together, get information. Information can be got, is normally being gotten from the community, from the public, and through overt or covert surveillance, which can be employed. And that's why it's important that the role of the citizens and community members in security management and operations. You see, Section 24E also emphasized the role of the citizens in maintaining law, in assisting the security and maintaining law and order. The citizens of the community of Nigerians, you know that they have a duty. If all of us are conscious of that constitutional role that we ought to perform as citizens of this country, giving information to the police and other security agencies, assisting them when the need arises, and also knowing that it is the citizens who are the prime beneficiaries of a safe and secure environment. So therefore incumbent on the citizens to ensure that they cooperate with the police or the security agencies to ensure that the society or community is safe and secure. Because these bandits, these kidnappers, they live amongst them. They live among the community, and they are not spirits. And when they come in, at least they see them. And when they see them, they should be sincere now to pass information to the police and security agencies who will now take immediate action and do the needful to ensure that crime is prevented or detected. So I think the community, the citizens have a role, the security agencies have a role, and the government have a role. And the government in particular in terms of empowering the police and other security agencies. The police, the lead agency in internal security, but the point is have challenges in terms of manpower. We are grossly inadequate. The welfare is nothing to write home about in terms of equipment. Some police divisions don't have vehicles. In case there's a distress call, and they can't even have the vehicle or way of moving to the scene. And the time response in distress calls is very, very important. When they cannot get themselves there and take action as it ought to be, it is a challenge. So therefore, the problem is also not just the citizens alone not cooperating. Security agencies also need to be empowered. The government need to do all it ought to do in line with Section B. 2 of the 1999 Constitution provides that the security and welfare is the primary purpose of government. All government's primary concern is the security of the citizens, security of the country. And that is addressed, I'm sure, and the citizens also are alive to their responsibilities, and all security agencies are also professional in their action and committed, and I'm sure the security of this country will improve. If this is done, I'm sure we will have a better security. And then again, the governors of the state, you see that they don't say, oh, these police are federal institutions, even the Constitution provides the security is on the exclusive list of the Constitution, but they also have the Constitution to defend and uphold the Constitution. If they want to uphold the Constitution, the Section 14B, therefore, they are obligated to ensure that security of the state, because they cannot rule a state when that is made insecure, and they have the constitutional duty to ensure that they empower the police in terms of equipment, in terms of logistics, and the federal government also have a duty, of course, since this one is purely under the exclusive list, the federal government has a duty to do that, even though the government also have another competing it, but security is key and central as provided under Section 40B of the Constitution. So I think security, like it is properly said, is the responsibility of all of us, the government, security agencies, and the citizens. So let all of us arise and say, let's put a stop to this killing. And I want to ask, why our leaders, religious leaders, political leaders, traditional rulers, all parts of society, we should not keep quiet about, we should arise to say no to this killing. The killing must stop, because these are Nigerians, and the way it is embarrassing to the country and say life is no longer sacred in this country. We should say no to killing. The government should stand up. Security agencies should also stand up and arise to the occasion and show that we say no to further killing in this country. If this will do that, it's your determination and commitment. If the government has a political will to do this and ensure the country is safe for all citizens, I think it can be done.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lawrence Alobi, former FCT Commissioner of Police. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.